On the hour, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. News at noon, 12 noon. News from across the states, 4 p.m. And our major news at 6 p.m. Citizen FM 93.7. Always precise in news broadcast.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja.
The time is 6 o'clock. Welcome to Citizen FM News. I am Didi Eno. First, the highlights. Vice President assures that NYSC is indispensable to Nigeria. EFCC boss urges youth to support its fight against corruption. And U.S. announces a visa ban on Nigeria electoral offenders. President Muhammadu Buhari has reappointed Chief Emeka Ngige as chairman of the Council of Legal Education. Aside from the 36 state attorneys general, the newly reconstituted council, which will be inaugurated at Abuja, also has 17 Nigerian Bar Association nominees as members. Ngige disclosed the reappointment while addressing the valedictory meeting of Council of Legal Education held at the Buhari headquarters of Nigerian Law School. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has described the National Youth Service Corps as an indispensable pillar to Nigeria's democracy and unity. Osinbajo spoke at the opening ceremony of the 50th anniversary lecture of the NYSC in Abuja with the theme NYSC 5 Decades of Fostering National Unity and Development. The Vice President, who was represented by the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar Aliyu, congratulated the management, staff, and core members for sustaining the purpose for the establishment of the scheme. He noted that the NYSC had evolved since its establishment and had become indispensable in the development of the country. The federal government has said 95% of the 2,518 Nigerians evacuated from war-torn Sudan are students. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Dr. Nasir Sani Gwarzo, disclosed this while briefing the media on the winding up of emergency evacuation exercise for Nigerians caught in the middle of the crisis in the North African country. Sani Gwarzo, who is also the chairman of the Situation Room on the evacuation exercise, said apart from the students, the other categories of returnees were footballers, diplomats, businessmen, families, and the infirmed. He also said 6 of the students were taken to hospitals and discharged before they reunited with their respective families. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, has said that the federal government has witnessed a rise in school enrollment nationwide, but did provide specific numbers to support her claim. She disclosed this to journalists after the extraordinary Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The minister stated that the government aims to enroll every out-of-school child by 2030. According to her, the government has approved a budget of over 14 billion naira to train and empower beneficiaries. Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika has affirmed that the national carrier Nigeria Air will begin operations before the present administration winds down. Sirika made this known while briefing State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting. On his part, Minister of Education Adamu confirmed the Council's decision to approve 37 new private universities across the country. He said that by the foregoing, the present administration had surpassed any other administration in terms of establishing universities. All Progressives Congress seem to be in the process of resolving the crisis that has erupted within the party as a result of the zoning arrangement recently announced for the leadership of the 10th National Assembly. Newsman reports that as part of moves to resolve the ongoing crisis, Senators Godswill Akpabio and Jibril Barau are currently meeting with the party's National Working Committee. The meeting, which is taking place at Muhammad Buhari House and presided over by Senator Abdullahi Adamu, is attended by over 40 senators, including Senator Godswill Akpabio and Jibril Barau. Nigeria's Sovereign Investment Authority and the National Council on Climate Change signed a memorandum of understanding to address climate risks and to enable the attainment of the shared objectives of both parties. The partnership was expected to catalyze private finance to accelerate Nigeria's ambitious climate and national development agenda. The ceremony also witnessed the launch of NSIA's Mating Impact Report, which highlights the development impact of its operations and investment since inception. Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Abdul Rashid Bawa, has called on university undergraduates and youth across the country to stand up and to join hands with the Commission in the fight against corruption, economic and financial crimes. He made the call while receiving members of the Zero Tolerance for Corruption from Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, who paid him a courtesy visit at the corporate headquarters of the Commission. Represented by the Secretary to the Commission, Dr. George Ekbungu, Bawa stressed that Nigerian students have every potential and power to stroke out the fire of anti-corruption. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has sworn in a reappointed Resident Electoral Commissioner Mahmouda Isa for a second and final term. This was contained in a statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman Rotimi Oyekomi. Issa has been deployed to the Federal Capital Territory after serving Jigawa and Kaduna states. Guinness World Records has released an official statement following the recent feat achieved by Nigerian chef Hilda Bassi. Bassi is a Nigerian and an Akwa Ibom State native. She surpassed the record for the longest cooking time by an individual with a 100-hour record time. Bassi beat Indian chef Lata Tandon, who had completed the task in 87 hours, 45 minutes, and 0 seconds in 2019. Hilda began cooking on Thursday and continued through to Monday, reportedly whipping up 55 recipes and more than 100 meals in a whopping 100-hour stint. 58 soldiers have been rewarded with brand new bicycles and undisclosed sums of money for being dedicated and hardworking to their duties. Lieutenant Colonel Ishaku Dakwa, acting deputy director, Army Public Relations 3 Division in Jos, revealed this in a statement. He said the presentation of gifts and prizes was done by the General Officer commanding 3 Division and Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Abdusalam Bagudu Ibrahim, at Headquarters 3 Division Auditorium in Jos, the Plateau State capital. Ibrahim said the presentation was in recognition of the hard work, the dedication to duty, and good conduct of the soldiers. Former chairman of INEC, Professor Tahiru Jaga, has said the country must either provide the resources to continue to mandate participation in the National Youth Service Corps scheme or otherwise make it voluntary. Jaga made the statement during his address at the opening ceremony of the 50th anniversary celebration of NYSC earlier in Abuja, where he was a guest lecturer. He added that the service must be retained but must also be repositioned to provide a substantial impact on national development, or else it will not last another 10 years. And former special advisor to President Shehu Shagari on National Assembly matters and an elder statesman, Alhaji Tanko Yakasai, has linked the president-elect Bola Tinubu's choice of Godswill Akpabio and Senator Barau Jibrin as Senate President and Deputy respectively, to his wide political experience and influence. Speaking to newsmen in Kano, Yakasai noted that Tinubu, now the most experienced politician in Nigeria, going by his political pedigree, wisely chose Akpabio to support his administration in the discharge of their responsibilities. He added that Tinubu's insistence on Akpabio was widely done to reward the South, and Southwest loyalists during the presidential elections. And World Health Organization has called for caution in using artificial intelligence-generated large number model tools to protect and promote human well-being, human safety, autonomy, and to also preserve public health. LLMs include some of the most rapidly expanding platforms such as ChatGPT, Bard, BET, and many others that imitate understanding, processing, and producing human communications. Their meteoric public diffusion and growing experimental use for public-related purposes is generating significant excitement around the potential to support people's health needs. The Global Health Body, in a press statement, said it is imperative that the risk be examined carefully when using LLMs to improve access to health information as a decision support tool, or even to enhance diagnostic capacity in under-resourced settings to protect people's health and to reduce inequity. You're listening to Citizen FM 93.7 News at 6 and also stories on the foreign scene. Years after picking Russia out of the Council of Europe, the leaders of the 46-nation pan-continental rights body gathered in Iceland to show a united face against Moscow, firming up ways to hold Russia legally responsible for the death and destructions it has wrought in Ukraine will dominate the summit in Reykjavik. According to British officials, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was to address the opening of the summit by video link. British officials hosted him on the last leg of the whirlwind tour that he made of major European capitals. And in sports, Scotland legend Alistair McCoist said Napoli forward Victor Osimhen is a replica of Didier Drogba. McCoist noted that Drogba was a fearsome striker during his active days with Chelsea and Côte d'Ivoire. He added that the Ivorian won multiple titles with the Blues, including the UEFA Champions League and Premier League, saying Osimhen has been compared with the Chelsea legend following a remarkable campaign with Napoli. And that's about the size of the news, but before we go, a recap of the highlights. Vice President assures that NYSC is indispensable to Nigeria. EFCC boss urges youths to support its fight against corruption. And that's it on Citizen FM News at 6, as edited by Lawrence Umoite. To listen to us online, please visit citizenfm.ng. I am Didiana. To stay with us, Super Citizen at Sunset continues in a bit.
Looking for the best in news updates?
Yeah, man.
Listen to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Now listen. News on the hour, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. News at noon, 12 noon. News from across the states, 4 p.m. And our major news at 6 p.m. Citizen FM 93.7. Always precise in news broadcast.
Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, bringing you news updates on digital technology around us, discussing the latest developments and how technology can enrich you and make your life more exciting. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, welcome to our world of technology. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, expanding our global reach through technology.
We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
So I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it. We're all doing it because we're asking to try and elicit change.
No woman should sit down and allow a man to speak about her reproductive rights.
But it is about opening spaces for other women and not to be seen as token, and that because I'm a woman, I'm only speaking about women at the table. No, I'm speaking about side of the table that is empty, and the women have to be there. So
I want us to leave this world better than we found it. And how I choose to affect change is by speaking up, by being the first, and by being the dominant.
Over 4 billion of the world's population are girls and women, also faced with challenges that affect our world and contributing solutions to them. Let's have conversations and get some answers to them through their eyes and voices. Tune in to Perspectives, where we discuss important issues ranging from climate change, politics, health, the economy, and lifestyle on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Weekdays from midday. Perspectives. Conversations that matter.
This is our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated.
Nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM.